Hello, I'm Erik Christensen from the NLS Norway Relocation Group, and I want to welcome you to this session where we tackle one of the most persistent and frustrating administrative bottlenecks in the entire Norwegian onboarding process, the identity number trap. If you are a global mobility manager or an HR director, you have likely heard the term D number tossed around as a quick fix for newly arrived international talent. It sounds simple enough, a temporary number to get them into the system so you can start running payroll. However, in the 2026 landscape of a hyper-digitized society, I'm here to tell you that a D number is often a dangerous half measure that creates far more problems than it solves. We need to discuss why settling for a D number when your employee actually needs a permanent personnummer or personal number is a strategic error that will haunt your HR department and cripple your hire's productivity for months. To understand this, we have to look at the heart of the Norwegian administrative system, the Folkeregisteret in Norwegian, or National Registry. Every person living in Norway must be accounted for, but the system bifurcates foreign arrivals into two distinct categories. The D number is essentially a placeholder, originally designed for people staying less than 6 months, or for those who do not yet have a permanent residential address. The personnummer, on the other hand, is the golden ticket, the permanent 11-digit identity number granted to those staying more than 6 months who have a valid long-term lease. The hidden risk for HR begins when a star hire is issued a D number simply because they are living in temporary corporate housing during their first month. While this might allow you to technically register them within the Skatteetaten in Norway or the tax office, it effectively locks them out of the infrastructure required for a modern life in Norway. The most significant wall your employee will hit is the BankID barrier. BankID is not just a banking tool, it is the universal digital key to the entire country. It is required to log into the healthcare portals, to find a primary doctor, to sign a permanent apartment lease, to access secure government mail to Digipost, and most importantly, and also very importantly, to use VIPS, the mobile payment system that is the lifeblood of social interaction and daily commerce in Oslo and beyond. Here's the catch. The vast majority of Norwegian banks will not issue a full BankID to an individual holding only a D number. They view it as a temporary status with a higher risk profile. This means your high-level executive, someone you might be paying 2 million kroner a year, is suddenly reduced to a state of administrative helplessness. They cannot pay a bill online. They cannot sign their children up for local sports clubs, and they are forced to carry a physical passport everywhere just to prove their identity. This state of administrative infantilization leads to profound frustration and a massive drop in workplace focus. From a B2B payroll perspective, the D number is equally problematic. Without the proper permanent registration, the employee is frequently hit with a 50% emergency tax rate. Even if this is eventually corrected, the initial shock of seeing half their first paycheck disappear is enough to trigger a crisis of confidence in their relocation. Your HR team then spends dozens of hours acting as a buffer between a panicked employee and a rigid tax office. Furthermore, if your hire eventually moves from temporary housing to a permanent home, which they must do, and they have to return to the tax office to report the move and apply for a transition from a D number to a personnummer. This triggers a secondary processing timeline that can take an additional 4 to 8 weeks, during which they remain in digital limbo. At NLS Norway Relocation Group, we help HR departments avoid this loop by implementing what we call a Personnummer-first strategy. This involves aligning the home finding process with the initial immigration appointment. By securing a permanent, legally compliant lease before the employee ever visits the Service Center for Foreign Workers, or SUA, we ensure they are registered for a permanent number on day one. This proactive alignment bypasses the temporary D number entirely, allowing the BankID process to begin immediately and ensuring your talent is digitally and financially connected within their first month. This isn't just an administrative convenience. It is a critical retention strategy. An employee who can navigate their new life with the same digital ease as a local is an employee who feels settled, respected, and ready to perform. If you are currently seeing your international hires struggle with banking delays or tax errors, it is likely because they have fallen into the D number trap. We can help you restructure your onboarding sequence to ensure every hire gets the permanent status they need from the very start. Let us help you remove this friction from the Norwegian bureaucracy so your team can focus on what they do the best. Please visit our website at nlsnorwayrelocation.no, nlsnorwayrelocation.no, to learn more about our corporate solutions and how we can safeguard your talent's transition into the Norwegian system. We look forward to being your partner in navigating these complex administrative waters.